So I've been playing around with the Resident Evil 3 Remake Randomizer mod, but there's not a lot of guides on how to set this up, and I struggled a little bit, and I've seen a lot of other people were confused and they were doing it wrong, and I got it to work, and I'm going to run through a quick guide just because I haven't seen any on how to actually set this up. So I'm going to drop the link in the description of the video below, but you can just come to Nexus Mods and look for Resident Evil 3 Remake Randomizer. Then you'll want to come to Files. You'll want to come down and get the newest version, which will be version 4, manual download, just to get this file. You can go ahead and do the slow download, but once you do this, this will give you a WinZip file for these two files right here. You don't really need documentation. This will just tell you a little explanation of what more things need, but this is the one you need. So you'll get this file and open it on up to here. So you want to stop here. You don't want to load in any of the settings just yet because we got to get the game in first. So to do this, first you need to open up the game. So go on over to Steam, open up the game, and just get it to the main menu. Just get it here, and don't load up your game or anything. Just get it to this spot, the main menu, and then Alt Tab, give it a second. This goes a little slow, so you'll Alt Tab back out the cheat engine. Now you're gonna click this little device right here, the little like monitor, and you will see Resident Evil pops up. If you don't have the game open, this probably, I don't think this shows up. It'll be everything else, but it won't be this. So go on, open up the Resident Evil, and now it's gonna load in the game. And you should be able to go, it's loading in, give it a second, it's slow, and you should be able to load, just hit randomizer, and you can play through with all the settings you want. So you can go ahead and I do like, one thing I'll note, this randomizer is a little glitchy yet, so there's a few things you'll have to keep in mind. I don't think there's any blue herbs that I've seen in it, so I like to eliminate parasite, but for some reason it stopped working lately, so keep that in mind. You'll have to have first aid sprays for them. There are some times where if you get in the key item and you don't save it and you die, that key item can be moved around when you come back, and it might not be that key item anymore, and it might just turn into a herb or something, and the key item will be removed from the game. I've had this happen with the lockpick in the beginning. Thankfully, it was in the beginning of the game, and the lockpick was completely removed from the game, and I had to start over. Because what I guess it did was, it took the lockpick out of certain spots where it could spawn, and moved it to a different item where I already picked up, and the lockpick was completely out of the game. The best way to fix that is to delete all saves from Steam and start a new game. So keep in mind for that, watch out for that, and make sure you save often in different files. Save different slots throughout the game because you might need to go back. But with this, you now have your randomizer all set up and set in. So you could come right over back to the game. That should be everything. You don't want to start the game up before you do the settings because that'll goof it up, and you don't want to grab a save game. You definitely want to go with a new game. So just load up a standard game with that settings on, just leave that running in the background, and this will randomize your game. So just play through your game in the beginning until you get to this point. This will be the first spot where you find an item where you should be able to see if it's randomized. Though sometimes it might be the same item and it is randomized, but this is your first chance to see. I believe this should be ammo here, so the fact that it's a first aid spray shows that it's randomizing the game. But in case you want to be more sure, you can keep on going ahead to the second point where the items show, where you get Carlos. And after the train scene with Carlos, when you make your way up the stairs, these first boxes here should all be completely random. Gunpowder, assault rifle, mixed herbs, and flame rounds. So it's pretty straightforward and basic once you know what you're doing. But a lot of people were, and me included, were loading everything without loading the game up first, and that's the problem where it wasn't loading in. So once you follow those steps, get the game up, load it into the cheat engine, select your settings, come back to the game at the main menu, and then start a new game. That should work, and you should be able to go. So just keep in mind though, this is still glitchy, and you want to save very, very a lot of different slots. Save very often, and every time you get a key item, you'd want to save, because I've had a few times where, like I said, it will glitch out of the game. Sometimes you'll have to go back to a previous save. And there's one time where it got really broken where I had to delete every save from the game and start all over because the lockpick was not loading into the game at all. So, but hopefully this helps you, and I'll be having a full run of my playthrough on my channel after this. So thank you. So if my walkthrough video was able to help you get this set up, be sure to like and subscribe, and check out my other videos that I'll be doing Resident Evil 2 Randomizer next. I'm going backwards, I know, but